Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Halo Effect. I am Robert Lockhart, your host, as usual. And let's talk some baseball. First of all, I wanted to say I know I got a little passionate last time, but hey, baseball, we all get a little passionate at times. I mean, take a look at Yankees and Red Sox fans. You talk about passionate. Whew, man, they can get nuts at times. But anyway, with that said, one thing I will say, the deal with Zach Plesac is finalized. It is a 1-year deal, not for very much. I know the Angels are still looking for a return to form from him. That's still not the best reason to sign anyone. If they, like I said, all the moves that they've made, every single one is hoping to return to form. You don't want to hope to improve. You want to improve. Now Zach Plesac can be good. He's still not the style of pitcher they need. They still need a number one. And I don't know where they are in getting that. But again, I go back to what I first said, and that was with this entirely new coaching staff. We just have to see where things kind of land. And I know we don't have a true number one, but maybe one emerges. We never know. We know the pitchers that we have good stuff. For those who remember Tyler Anderson when he first came up with the Rockies, he was actually very good. He was one of the top pitchers in the league, if I remember correctly, in the National League. He had a bit of a falling out. His stuff really suffered. So he kind of hopped around a little bit with a couple of teams before he wound up with the Dodgers and seemed to find something. I mean, when you can regenerate your stuff, in one season, I believe that's probably why the Angels signed him to the 3-year deal. I mean, it would have to be. Because before then, he was really struggling. I mean, he had like a 4.5+ ERA. And I think he was eventually pitching out of the bullpen with Pittsburgh. But he found something with the Dodgers, and he had a major comeback year. I mean, he had a great season. So maybe it's all in the coaching. Maybe the Angels actually do have a number one somewhere, and it's just kind of undercover right now. Maybe Anderson pulls something out of a hat. Maybe he does maybe Barry Enright really unlocks everything that he once had. Maybe Enright unlocks something out of Sandoval, what we saw first with Wise. In the 2021, no, not 2021, 2022 season, I believe, Sandoval was almost unhittable. He was that good. He wasn't getting a lot of run support because half his lineup was healing from injuries, but he did really well. Maybe Enright can unlock that again. Maybe he can unlock something in Silseth. Maybe Silseth actually is a number one. Who knows? That was one of the things that I had to remind myself, that when I can get really passionate, sometimes I lose sight. And, a return to form for some of these guys, again, Enright could unlock that. You take a look at the Diamondbacks pitching staff the last couple of years, and they're really good. Grant you, their main pitching coach handled the rotation. Enright really handled the bullpen. But you take a look again. You look at the Diamondbacks bullpen, and they're good. They have a good staff in there. So let's see what Enright's got. again, maybe he unlocks something. But the one thing I do know is, as an Angel fan, I know other Angels fans are looking for something that is solid. Something that really shows, hey, you're doing something to improve this team. Now, a better coaching staff that's already shown, that can work wonders. Look what Bochy did with Texas. Woo-hoo-hoo. You talk about a 180. I mean, they were one of the worst teams in the American League. Now they're World Series champs. And that's what great coaching will do for you. Ron Washington is an amazing manager. He's a fantastic manager. And Rangers fans know this because for 7 years he had them in contention. He took them to the World Series twice. Grant you, they came up short. But still, to take that team to the World Series twice and have 90-plus win seasons 5 out of those 7 years, that's incredible. Well, I think it's 4 out of the 7 years. But winning records all the way through except for the 2014 season, which was, I think, a losing record, which I think is why he lost his position. But they did lose a lot of their players at that point in time, and it was kind of in a bit of a rebuild stage. So it stands to reason that they were not going to do super great. But I honestly don't think he should have lost his job for that. I think he's the fact that he did so well with the Rangers for that long period of time. He should still be a manager somewhere, and the fact that he's got another opportunity now with the Angels, I love it. I really do. I think Ron Washington's going to do really great for the Angels. Now, with that said, there's news of interest in Corbin Burnes dwindling when it comes to a trade because he's got 1 year left on his contract. He's really good to a point where the Brewers are worried that they're not going to get the proper amount in return. I think that's not the greatest reason to pull somebody off the trade market. You could still get something really good. And like I said, what I would do, I would still include a major league ready pitcher. Somebody who's already ready for the majors and someone else who's quite possibly close. Like I said, someone from a very passionate background. I did mention Reed Detmers. He's still got a few years left of control, which would be good for the Brewers. Detmers is good. He has great stuff. His slider and his changeup are very good pitches. And if he can really kind of get out of his own head and get out of the fourth inning more often, you're looking at a great piece in your rotation. I also mentioned a prospect for the Angels. Their number 9 prospect, I believe, is Jack Kachanovich, is someone they got in the 2019 draft in their 3rd round, where I honestly believe they should have drafted Matt Allen, but you can't really predict any injuries. And Matt Allen's had to not only go through Tommy John surgery, he's also going through UCL rejuvenation procedures right now. And he hasn't really pitched much in the Mets organization. I think he's got maybe 10 1/3 total innings in his professional career right now. Now, whether he falls out of favor with the Mets organization, I don't know. He's 22 years old. But his stuff is still really good. I don't know if he's front of the rotation anymore. Maybe he's back end of a bullpen now. I still think he can be a major league pitcher, but let's see what happens in his career. I still think he could be really good. But that's him. This is the Angels. I still believe that the Angels can make a trade for Corbin Burns. I believe they can still do it. I believe they should still do it. And the second they do it, to extend him for about 8 years. And then, start rebuilding your rotation through the draft. I like what Caden Dana can bring to the table. I think, much like Silseth, he's got number 2 style stuff. Like I said, I don't think you have a true number 1 for your rotation. Unless you believe that Sam Bachman can be your number 1. Because he's got number 1 type of stuff. He really does. But, again, I'll let you determine that. I'll let Ron Washington's staff, Barry Enright, I'll let you guys determine that one. And with that said, I'm pretty much going to end it there. So, again, let's see what the Angels actually can do with their coaching staff. I think Barry Enright can do good. Seeing what the Diamondbacks pitching staff did the last couple of years, I think he'd do great. Johnny Washington, again, I don't know. He didn't have the best experience with the Padres, but again, he didn't have a ton of talent to work with. Now he's got a lot of talent to work with. He's got great hitters to work with. So, again, let's see what happens. I would still like to see Trout stay healthy all season. We're definitely going to need him because we don't got Ohtani no more. I would really like Rendon to stay healthy all season for once. That was one thing that I got to throw out there. When you got one season-ending injury, hey, that happens. It's baseball. Well, it's sports, really. 2 seasons in a row where you have a season-ending injury? Odd, but okay. 4 seasons in a row? That throws up some really weird flags for me. I personally think he doesn't want to play for the Angels, but that's me. What do I know? I don't know the human condition. I don't know the human mind. Hell, I don't know his mind, period. But it's just weird to me how you can have 4 season-ending injuries in a row and all before the halfway mark of the season. Really strange. But, again, that's me. Can't release him because he's still going to get paid. That's still money on the books. Can't trade him. No one's going to take him because of the injury history now. So you can't get really anything for him. The only thing you can do is hope that he stays healthy and plays. That's all we can hope for. So here's praying. I still think the trading away David Fletcher was a big mistake. I think you want to keep him around, if and when Rendon goes down, you're going to want to move Rengifo probably over to third base, or keep him at second base and put Fletcher over at third, because, Fletcher is a great defender. There's no doubt about that. His hitting suffered the last couple of seasons, but he's still that really good on-base guy that we all know and love. And I think he's going to have that kind of return to form with the Braves in their minor league system. That's where he is right now in AAA Gwinnett. I think you're going to see a return to form from David Fletcher, and I think that's really going to bite the Angels big time, getting rid of him. Because if and when Rendon goes down, I don't know if we have anybody to fill in. I would re-sign Gio Urshela as backup, because Urshela did really good before he went down with his injury. Moustakas still's a viable solution. He's not the same Mike Moustakas as he was with Kansas City, but I still believe he's a decent ball player and can contribute. I think he contributed pretty decently with the Angels last year. Not super great, but, better than one would have expected. So, again, with that said, I'm going to end it right there. You guys have a good one. Go Halos.